Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I thank you to everyone who came to the recitals last weekend. They went off so well. It's always such a huge pleasure for me to be able to listen to you. And I know I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off doing a whole bunch of different things, but when I can just sit and enjoy what you guys have been putting together this year, it's just amazing. And I always say this, but recitals are not the end product. They are the growth marker and the culmination of what you've been working on. And you just add in nerves and it really kind of tells you where you're at. And so it was beautiful to see how everything came together. You should feel really, really proud of yourselves, and parents, you have been a huge part to play in this as well, and bringing them to their lessons, reminding them to practice, doing all those things. They couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. And congratulations to Heather, who had her senior recital on Sunday. And we are sad that you are going on, but so excited for you. Congratulations on getting into state. And you played beautifully. So she played piano and also sang. And so it was really great to see everything, the years that she's been at the school, everything coming together, and get parents bringing tacos for us at the end. They were really good, by the way. So it was great to watch her in this momentous occasion. So I wanted to talk a second. This will be a short talk today. I am a fan of Esther Perel, and I don't know if you know her. She is a famous therapist, and she is somebody I've been getting into this year, specifically. When I go over and clean the school, I'll listen to her podcast. But she was interviewed recently on a Diary of a CEO. So if you have a chance to go see it, because she's just such wonderful insight on things. And so she is a relationship person. And so, life is all about how we relate to each other. And so uh, she talked about something called ambiguous loss. Have you heard of it? It just really struck a chord with me when she was talking about it, because we all deal with ambiguous loss sometimes, and ambiguous loss is the grief that lacks closure or a clear understanding of the loss, or lacks resolution, or lacks permanency. And I was thinking to myself, isn't that a lot of grief? A lot of times when things happen, we don't understand why something happened. And so this idea, though, ambiguous loss, it kind of separates it from just normal everyday loss. This is the loss that just has no explanation. There's no way that you'll be able to get an explanation. And it just makes me think about being a musician, and how there are many things about being a musician that include ambiguous loss, just because of the nature of what we do. So many of the things that happen as a musician are out of our hands. And so not getting that answer, not getting the resolution is just kind of part of it. So a little bit more. So I researched a little bit about this, and a little bit more is like, it's a deep, deep stress that without certainty may continue for a lifetime. Can you believe that this kind of loss could stick with you for the rest of your life, and maybe help shape who you are? Um, it can lead to feelings of confusion, anxiety, and chronic sorrow. And there are two types of ambiguous loss. There is loss, the physical loss of something, the physical loss of a person through death or whatever. And then the type two one is when you're with a person and they're still there, but they might be emotionally or cognitively missing. So no, we're not ever going to be there in those ways again, such as, at least for me, my stepdad having um, Alzheimer's. That's one way, but then also mental illness, addiction, or any condition that takes away one's mind and memory. So the person is physically there, the thing is physically there, but they're not emotionally or cognitively there. So both of those ways of losses, both of those ambiguous losses are tough. And maybe in certain ways that type 2 way might be even tougher because the person is there. So I researched more, and a woman had coined this phrase back in the 70s. And so I looked at her website a little bit, and it said loss is a condition of being human. So yeah, loss is a condition of being human. And its biggest strength is taking seriously the fact that uncertainty is the reality much of the time, but we have to go on living. So that's pretty crazy. So again, this idea of ambiguous loss, is it really separate from any other loss? I don't know. I don't know, because it all feels similar. So she says that there's 6 pillars of coping, and so we can take this into our lives as musicians. Um, the first one, and it makes the most sense, and you hear this from a lot of people, is finding meaning. So making sense of what happened. And again, it's very hard to make sense of something if you don't know why something happened, but you get to make your own meaning. So for me, I've always been, the type of leader I am is a big picture person. I'm not very good with the details. You can see that with my room or my car. I am a pretty messy person. I can be clean, but for the most part, I'm pretty messy. So me and details are not the most we're not the most compatible. But I am a big picture person. So for me, anytime something goes on, any kind of purpose, any kind of anything that I'm doing, I want to find meaning in it. And so I will look for the bigger picture. I will look for the bigger overarching thing. So if you're a musician and you say lose your funding for something, and it's a sudden thing and you don't really know why, what could be the meaning in that? What could be the bigger picture? Could it, for me, it could be, 2 different things. Maybe that's telling you that you got to pivot and do something else or go about the funding in a different way. Or 2, fight for it. And so those are modes of action, but basically the meaning behind it is, do you feel so strong about what you're doing that you have to find a way to do it? And that's the meaning. And you have to find that out for yourself. It can't come from anyone else. It has to come from you. Also, with an audition, again, as musicians, this is part of our lives. You might not get it. You might, or something happens where the role or the position falls through. Is it something that's going to stop you from doing it ever again, putting yourself out there ever again? Or is it going to make you fight more? Is it going to, there's just so many ways that you can do it, but you have to find the meaning for yourself, because otherwise, what's the point of it? I think that everything happens for a reason. And I think that reason is the meaning. And so I think we've talked about meaning a little bit before. And I know, I like Carl Jung, and he's all about the meaning. And so I think we got to put meaning behind it. Number 2, for another pillar of coping, is adjusting mastery. It says recognizing my degree of control in the situation. So in a lot of situations that happen, we don't have any control, but we can control how we respond, and we can control, again, going back to number 1, we can control the meaning that we have behind it. So it's being able to recognize that there is some control there and then there isn't, and being able to be specific about what that is. So it's adjusting the mastery, recognizing my degree of control in the situation, and maybe doing, finding control in another way if it was out of our control. Number 3 is reconstructing identity. Wow, I liked this one a lot. And it says how a person comes to understand their new identity. Because what I like about it is it's saying it's changed you. Whatever the loss was, it changed you. I think loss, just as well as the good things, the really good things, they shape us who we are. They help shape who we are. Now, we do have a choice in the matter. We get to decide if it helps or not, but it does change us. We learn things about ourselves, how we respond, and we learn things about other people, and we learn about, again, going to the number two, recognizing our control in it. So you get to, if you have lost, if a person is gone, you get to decide who you're going to be going forward. It's pretty cool. That feels powerful. Number four, normalizing ambivalence. So that means coming to terms with your conflicting feelings. So you you don't get an audition, or you audition and you don't get it. Maybe it makes you angry. Maybe it makes you angry, or maybe it makes you sad or jealous or something. Maybe you know the person who got the thing that you didn't get. So you're upset. And then maybe you're also grateful that you were able to do it in the first place. Two conflicting things could go on at the same time. Does it always reveal a little bit more about ourselves? Yes. Is it always the most positive stuff that it reveals? No, not necessarily. But it's just saying that there are two things that can be going on at the same time. That ambivalence, thinking, having two truths, having two thoughts at the same time when something happens, a loss happens, is okay. It's okay. Number five is revising attachment. So recognizing that someone might be gone, that thing might be gone, that chance might be gone, but again, going back to this ambivalence, but can carry two contradicting ideas. So someone might be gone, but here, if it's that type two, but being able to say, okay, you know what? This person, this thing is not going to be in my life like I thought it was. So what can I do now? How can I, how can my expectations change for this relationship or this thing, you know? Last thing is number six, discovering new hope, which is obviously, I think, the most positive and powerful of all of them. And it says, frequently, the new hope is to help other people avoid suffering from ambiguous loss as you did. So it's taking what you've learned and then sharing it. And so notice what I'm doing right now. Notice what I've been doing the last few months is I am coming to you and talking to you about mental health. Now, I'm a musician. This has not been my area of expertise, although I think it's very closely tied. But I'm trying to find new meaning in ambiguous loss. And this is how I feel compelled to do it. This is one of the ways. Now, I have a few ways, and hopefully, maybe someday you'll find out about them. But right now, this is the way because it's just here. I'm talking into the void. I don't know who's listening, and that's okay. But I feel like I'm spreading what I've learned to everybody. So on that note, and I hear my neighbors out, on that note, I am going to leave, but I will talk to you soon.